I'm Gate Wade Taylor, and I do vocals for Atoll.
Has always been like what's pulled you to it, and that's what I like about metal. We're pushing that extreme, we're pushing that taboo, and so we wanted to explore not only the horrors and the graphic nature of it, but also like the absurdity and the levity on the other side of it. So, it's like a comic book. It's got our brutal death metal logo up there. It's got a bunch of people getting torn apart, and then it's kind of very comic-y, like Fallout Frenzy, that was something we really wanted to do. We wanted to kind of show the two sides of it. Plus, there's a hidden penis on 2 out of the 3 artworks. It's like fucking animals destroying humanity. That's what we want. The end of civilization via animals. It's just nerdy enough to be like, oh, all of these are kind of about animal attacks, minus Skinwalker. Skinwalker kind of calls back to our first album about human beings being the virus, human beings being the ones that are going to destroy human beings. So, very esoterically through the artwork, that's what we were trying to convey. But more than anything else, we're a death metal band that plays fucking death metal riffs. And we like to joke around a little bit. We certainly love the brutality of it all. Wade loves talking about buttholes.
Atoll formed in 2014. It was like Chris, Nick, Neil, who else? Andy Luffy, and then it was this guy Tony Rodriguez, and he did vocals for Pyremia. So they started, and then Tony dropped out, and they got their vocalist Nick that was on Gathering Swarm. So they put that out on Amputated Veins' smaller label Ghastly Records. And then after that, Nick stepped down, and they got me to do vocals for Fallout Frenzy. And then that got released on Corehouse. Yeah, I did all the recording and mixing for that album too. So that was a good introduction into the band, and then, we got to record 2 podcasts. That was also on Corehouse as well.
We had a fascination with horror, weird kind of body horror, very Cronenberg style. So somebody had brought up, it's why don't we just do the fucking eggs, from the face huggers, but have babies coming out. That's fucking brilliant. Cool, because that's exactly the point that we're trying to get across, that we're using this analogy in a way that what you see of the xenomorph you can apply very easily to Homo sapiens. You can apply the same thing to humans that you're going to apply to these xenomorphs. They kind of act in the same way of moving to an area and then urbanizing and taking it over, and it's a gross analogy, but that's kind of the idea. The kind of idea is to push it out there. So then on the second album, we really kind of wanted to embrace the idea of what Atoll was, and we really wanted to get to that mutation, from atomic testing and the monstrosities and the horrors that come out of that. And at the same time, we also kind of wanted to explore the levity of the whole thing. The absurdity of it all is fucking hilarious.
I joined a few years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but my first show was at Vegas Death Fest with Atoll, and learned the songs a few months ahead of time and started practicing with the guys. And for a while there, we were a three-piece guitar part. We had Neil with us. Our last album had just come out, and so I wasn't on that album, but I joined the band like right before it came out. So I hadn't really contributed anything writing with at that point until Zoopocalypse came out, and I actually got to write a song on there and contribute some of my parts in and out of there. So that was really cool. Playing shows in Arizona is cool. The local scene's really cool. You got a lot of other really good local bands. The support is great.
So, I just came over.
It's the most fun time you will ever have. You're never going to experience anything like playing in a death metal band, whether you're big or small. It's pretty much always just a giant party with friends when you're at a show, and I mean, who doesn't want that?